Welcome to your very first mentality training exercise of the High Performance Mentality Challenge. This training exercise begins our work developing your inner locus of attention. That is to say, your ability to control where you direct your attention and your ability to hold it there now. This is more difficult than you think, so don't be alarmed if your attention seems all over the place at first. Remember, this is your very first mentality training exercise. It does become easier as we go. To create an ideal mental environment for focus, please make sure you're sitting comfortably. It can be on a chair or your couch or sofa or even on the floor, just as long as you're sitting upright and you're comfortable. First, let's oxygenate your brain to make it that little bit more alert. Take a few deep breaths. Most people prefer to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, but whatever's comfortable for you. Go ahead. Okay, you can let your breathing go back to a natural rhythm while I explain how we start our exercise. At the start of each exercise, we'll use a technique to supercharge your focus. This is a technique you can also take into any task in your day. It's called opening and closing, and here's how it works. Every time you're about to begin a task, you consciously open it in a way that brings your full attention into the task, and then at the end of the task you consciously or mentally close it, so that you can shift your full attention to the next task. In the field of habit research, psychologists have found this type of starting ritual to activate the prefrontal cortex, helping to change behavior. What does opening a new task look like here in an exercise? Well, essentially you're going to give yourself a permission slip to let go of any thoughts or feelings, which could become distractions during the session. For example, you could say to yourself, I give myself permission to let go of thinking about my to-do list just for the next 10 minutes, or I give myself permission to be bad at something before I'm good at it. Or a popular permission slip among busy high achievers is, I give myself permission to enjoy this exercise knowing I'm taking this time for myself so I can bring my best self to others and to my work throughout the day. So go ahead and think of just 1, 2, or 3 things that could be a distraction, or could prevent your mind from showing up fully in this exercise, and take a moment now to give yourself a permission slip. Go ahead. Feel that sense of relief that comes with giving yourself permission, and at this point I would like for you to close your eyes. This helps us to move into the next phase of our exercise, which is all about focused attention. First, we need a kind of home base for your attention. This is something that you can anchor your attention and your focus onto. It could be anything really, but we'll use the breath for specific reasons, which will become clearer later in the program. At this point you're still breathing in whatever is your natural rhythm, and I want you to become aware of where you feel the sensation of breathing. Some people feel it on the tip of their nose as the cold air rushes in. Some people feel it in their chest as they're inhaling or exhaling, or some people even in their stomach, but just take a moment now to become aware of where you feel it most. Okay, now this sensation of breathing is your home base or your anchor for your attention, and I want you to take a few moments now where I'm going to keep quiet, and I want you to see for how long you can just keep your attention on that sensation. Go ahead. Has your mind wandered off onto some tangent of thinking? If you suddenly realized yes it has, then don't worry, that's perfectly normal and expected, but for this next phase, I want you to see for how long you can direct and maintain your attention on this one single task, which is staying focused on that sensation of breathing. Now, what does help some people is to actually count the breaths, so when you breathe in your mind you can count 1, and when you breathe out, you can count 1 again, and when you breathe in again you can count 2, and out count 2 again, and you can do this all the way up to 10, and then start again at 1. Try that now. Has your mind wandered off again? Don't worry about it, because you see what makes this exercise challenging is that when the mind wanders, we're initially oblivious that it's gone down in some other rabbit hole of thinking, and then at some point we wake up to the fact that our attention is not where we had initially wanted it to be, and that's okay. When that happens, just bring your attention back to your anchor, your home base, which is your breath or that sensation of breathing. So go ahead right now, bring your attention back to the sensational breathing, and let's see if you can hold it there for a little bit longer. And now I want you to let go of any specific focus and let your mind do whatever it wants to do. If it wants to stay focused, it can. If it wants to think of anything else, it can, or if it wants to rest, then just let it rest, let it do whatever it wants to do. Alright, let's ground the mind by becoming aware of your body. For example, the sensation of your body on the seat or your hands resting on your lap, and in a moment I'll ask you to open up your eyes, and this transition is really important. When you open your eyes, maintain your position, don't jump up immediately. Instead, you'll take a moment to pause and just acknowledge how your mind is feeling. So go ahead now, you can open up your eyes, just pausing to assess your mind, not trying to change anything, but just observing that quality of mind that you're experiencing right now. Is it calm and focused? Is it busy and distracted? There's really no right or wrong here. We're not trying to judge it, we're just observing what the condition of the mind is. And so just like we opened the session at the beginning, we're now going to mentally close it. It is really simple. Just mentally acknowledge that this exercise is over, and no matter what happened, no matter what your experience was, it's time to close it, let it go. Put it behind you so that you can bring a clean state of attention to the very next task. Thanks for your efforts in today's mentality training exercise, and enjoy the next videos.